Imagine with me that you order your favorite burger and favorite large drink on delivery, and your delivery driver happens to deliver food on his bicycle. He places your order in his generic cooler style backpack, which is basically a large insulated box, and heads off down the road. All is well until all of a sudden a giant pothole appears right in front of him. He is unable to avoid this pothole and takes a big hit. He's praying the contents inside the backpack are still intact, but unfortunately, the best he can offer you as the customer is a soggy burger and a half spilled drink. Now, I don't know about you, but this is definitely not an experience that I would want to happen to me. Today, I have sought to create a product that could solve this issue. Hi, I'm Nathan Dyer, and today I'll be showing you my food delivery backpack specifically designed for individuals traveling on bicycles. To give you an idea of where we'll be headed today, I've created this project timeline, which is as follows. We'll start off in the define phase, where I define and hone the problem at hand. And then we will move into the exploration phase, where I explore near and far for creative solutions to solve the problem. And finally, we'll move into the execution phase, where I execute on my final concept. Beginning with the define phase, I want to start off by sharing the initial inspiration for this project. What initially inspired me was looking at current solutions for food delivery bags that are on the market today and being thoroughly disappointed. A lot of the bags that I saw, especially the ones that fit on the user, looked very uncomfortable and looked like they distribute the weight unevenly. If the bag did not fit on the user's person, it seems like the user didn't always know what to do with the bag. And sometimes it would end up on the handlebars or somewhere funky, like strapped to the scooter, as you see in the bottom right-hand corner. To concisely hone the problem at hand, I created this food delivery journey map. This journey map was comprised of data I collected from various sources, being videos of delivery drivers stating things that they liked and disliked about their products, and forums where, again, individuals stated what they liked and disliked about delivery products that they used and things that could be improved upon. I then condensed this data into three main problems, being poor organization, bags that failed to maintain the food's temperature, and bags that got uncomfortable after a long period of use. As you can see, this food delivery journey map is from stage 1 through 7, but we will mainly be focusing on stage 4 through 7 today, being the packing, the traveling, the unpacking, and the handoff of the food. To dive deeper into the poor organization, much like the story I told at the beginning, if a drink spills inside the bag, it's going to quickly decrease the happiness of the delivery driver and ultimately you as the customer. Even during the unpacking phase, if the employee attempts to clean up the mess, the problem may plateau for a minute because the drink is not continuing to spill. But in the end, you're left with a soggy sandwich, which is unacceptable. Taking a look at bags that fail to maintain the food's temperature, as you start in the packing phase, the food is going to come right from the restaurant, piping hot, and it's going to be the temperature that it needs to be. But of course, over time, that temperature is going to decrease. Even if a bag is poorly insulated, it will still have some form of insulation. However, during the unpacking phase, it will lose even more temperature. Finally, this leaves you with your food being delivered cold, which again is unacceptable. Finally, looking at bag's comfort. If your bag is uncomfortable, you're already starting in a mediocre state. You're already starting in this yellow phase of the journey map. I do want to mention that bag comfort encompasses both the materials that the bag is made out of not being breathable and therefore not allowing for the sweat of the user to evaporate and cool them off, as well as just the general structure of the bag being uncomfortable. As the employee packs food into the bag, this bag is going to get heavier, which is going to decrease their happiness. If the user sweats, which they likely will if they're delivering on their bicycle, if the bag is made of materials that do not allow for evaporation, then that is going to decrease their happiness even more. As they unpack the food in the bag will get a little lighter, but in the end, the comfort of the user is just returning to a mediocre state because this is an uncomfortable bag. Another way I have strived to define the problem at hand was by creating this user persona. This guided the process because even though I've defined the problem a little bit, there's still many different ways that the project could go. And I needed to define my target market to more accurately solve for the problems at hand. With this, I created the Pedo Pioneer. The Pedo Pioneer will be an employee that is delivering within a 3-mile radius, and they'll be delivering 1 to 3 orders per trip. They age from 18 to 30 years old, and they are working 12 to 26 hours a week and making 15 to 40K on this part-time job. Some of the things this user must need is a form of organization in their bag. They also need their bag to be insulated. They need their bag to be comfortable for wearing over long periods of time. And they need their bag to keep food from being crushed, spilled, or ruined. Some of the things that are nice to have for this user would be the bag that distributes weight evenly, a bag that is expandable, and a bag that offers size adjustment for various sized users. This user is motivated by making money, flexible working hours, and working in a fast-paced environment. To concisely state the problems that I want to solve for, I want to solve for a bag that has poor organization, a bag that fails to maintain food's temperature, and a bag that gets uncomfortable after long periods of use. The final step in the define phase was to create some design guidelines. These were less of key problems that I needed to solve for and more of guidelines that I wanted to be mindful of as I ideated on creative solutions. To list a few for you, I wanted to involve the user in the fast-paced packing and unpacking of food. I also wanted to create a product that includes versatility and flexibility. And if possible, I wanted to create a fun and enjoyable experience for the user as they're delivering food. Moving away from the define phase and into the exploration phase, here's where I search near and far for creative solutions to the problem I just defined. To begin the exploration phase, I began looking at related products that are on the market today. I did this by going to stores that sell backpacking equipment, motorcycle shops, and bicycle shops because they all sold products that the user used to carry luggage. Some of the key insights that I pulled from this research was breathable fabric that I found on backpacking backpacks. This allows for the user to have proper airflow so that if they do perspirate, that sweat is able to evaporate and cool them off and do its job, as well as this fabric is lightweight and therefore it doesn't strain the user. I also looked at internal framing that some bags had, which I liked because it helped keep the bag's shape, whether there was something in the bag or not. And I looked at adjustment tabs that bags have for different sized users. I also looked at different attachment methods that different bags have, different clips, buckles, and magnetic strips, and seeing what's working and how it works. And finally, I looked at bags that organize their contents in a creative way. I then sketched and sketched and sketched. I sketched as many ideas I could to solve the problem at hand. I do want to note when I began sketching, I didn't confine myself to just sketching backpacks. I wanted to break free from that box and be able to come up with other creative solutions to solve the problem at hand. So I began sketching pull behind carts. This was helpful because I had a lot of room to play with, so I could come up with some creative ideas for how to organize the food. But in the end, pull behind carts were just too expensive for my target market, so this idea had to go. I then sketched different bicycle racks. I had an idea for a universal bike rack that could fit on any bike. But the problem here was that I wanted my user to be able to deliver the food right to the person's door. For instance, if the customer is ordering and they live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building, you can't ride your bike up 3 flights of stairs. So I wanted something that fit on the user so they could deliver that food right to the customer. With this, I ideated on some chest packs. And I really liked this idea because the user could quickly pack and unpack the food, but they could only carry a max of 1 order, and it would have to be a small order at that, as well as the weight distribution with this chest pack idea wasn't great. And of course, I sketched many, many ideas on creative solutions to the problem with backpacks. The next step in the process was to create a mood board. I created this mood board to guide the color, material, finish, and overall vibe of the bag. I decided to go with an urban feel. This is a very city, hustle and bustle feel with mostly muted colors, but touches of highlights in different places. Some of the materials I wanted to use were lightweight mesh materials, and I wanted a waterproof nylon exterior to the bag. With this, I created a final sketch page where I worked out the details of ideating on different organization systems and how I would incorporate mesh materials into the bag, as well as the overall form of the bag. Now move out of the exploration phase and into the execution phase, where I execute on my final concept. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Deliver Ease. Deliver Ease is a user-focused food delivery backpack made out of waterproof nylon and breathable mesh materials. To go a little further in depth on the mesh materials, here I've created a mesh back that is constrained by an aluminum frame. This creates an air gap between the user and the bag so that they are able to perspirate and that sweat be able to evaporate and cool them off and do its job. Deliver Ease features a fully insulated interior, an adjustable shoulder strap for different sized users, a single center push buckle that locks the lid in place, and hip cushions that double as hip pockets for the user's personal items. The bag also houses an adjustable plate organization system, as you can see in this transparent view. The plates are fully adjustable and removable. For instance, if you placed an order on the bottom shelf, you could adjust the second shelf down to compress the food, keeping it tight so it doesn't jostle around during travel. This adjustment is taking place by pushing in the two side buttons that release 4 tabs, one on each corner, that lock and unlock into the bag's frame. One plate features silicone stretchy cup holders that hold different sized drinks secure. To review the problems that I wanted to solve for, I wanted to solve for poor organization, a bag that fails to maintain food's temperature, and a bag that gets uncomfortable after long periods of use. And I've solved for this by creating an adjustable plate organization system, fully insulating the interior of the bag, and creating a mesh back that separates the bag from the user. Let's say you give that delivery order one more shot. You order your favorite burger and your favorite large drink, but this time the employee has a special product to deliver your food. As they head off down the road, all is well, when all of a sudden, a giant pothole appears in front of them. Unfortunately, they're unable to avoid it and they take a big hit. Now, while they would have previously been worried, this time they know that the drink is tightly secured in a silicone drink pocket and the food is sandwiched securely between 2 organization plates. You are able to enjoy your perfect large burger and large drink. Thank you.